Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about a very interesting topic. Now, I own two kind of cameras at the moment. I own APS C size sensor cameras and I own a 1-inch sensor camera from Panasonic. So I was thinking for a long time to make kind of a comparison video, that how you can shoot with the 1-inch sensor to get close to the APS C in terms of portraits. So if you want to shoot some portraits, what is the best you can do with the 1-inch sensor and in comparison with the APS C size sensor? And let's not even talk about the full frame sensors. But anyway, let's compare here the APS C size sensor and the 1-inch sensor. First of all, I want to say that the APS C size sensor is a Nikon D7200 with the Sigma Art 50 to 100 f1.8 zoom on it, and the 1-inch sensor is the Panasonic FZ2000/2500. Sorry. So let's see a few photos, and I went with my friend, in in a park, and we did some shots. And we did it in the same environment, so everything was the same kind of, and let's see what do we have over here. So you can see over here the photos. On the left side you see the Nikon D7200, and the right side you see the Panasonic FZ2000. Now just if you look at the photo, you will see immediately that the Panasonic FZ2000 is the background blur is almost nothing, so you can see it's everything in focus. And why is that? Because the Nikon D7200 was with f1.8, you can see down here, and also in the same time the sensor is larger, so the depth of field will be obviously smaller, and the Panasonic FZ2000 was with f4.1. So that's what makes all the difference. Now, if you look closely to the photos, you can see that both of the photos are very, very sharp, and these are, by the way, raw files, so they are not edited, there is nothing done with them. And you can see that there are plenty of details in both of the photos. Actually, the Panasonic, it impresses me over here because the sharpness is just incredible, of this lens. But anyway, as you can see over here, there is nothing kind of what you can do, so I was a little bit disappointed because I wanted, to get a camera which is small, portable, very small in comparing with other DSLRs, and I don't have to carry a lot of lenses with me. And I was hoping that the Panasonic will do a little bit better in regards to portraits. But anyway, this is what I got, and I will show you a few more photos. This is the second. It's the same kind of situation, like you see, it's the same scenario. And the left side is the Nikon D7200, and you just can see that the background blur is just very, very nice. And again, it is f1.8, and this is at f4.1. Now, if you look at this, you think that the situation is hopeless, but actually it's not, and I tell you why. I just figured out after a while, this is again the same kind of scenario. You see that in the background it's almost everything in focus. Now I just figured out after a while that what I can do, and actually what you can do or anybody can do, to give an extra touch, with the Panasonic FZ2000, is that you have to use the huge zoom range. So you have to make the photo with the maximum zoom range you've got. Now in this case, we speak about the Panasonic has at 450 millimeter. So you have to do the photos at 450 millimeter, and you have to be careful that the background will be very far away. I mean, these trees, if they would have been twice as far away, it would have been much blurry, like in this case. And I will show you a photo, and you can see over here that this photo, the background is nice and blurry, and actually looks really, really nice. So if we check the EXIF data over here, you can see that this photo is made at 154, 154.2 millimeter. That means the crop factor of the 1-inch sensor is something around 2.7. I'm not pretty sure exactly, but I think it's 2.7. So if you multiply the 154 with 2.7, that will be like 450 something millimeters. So it was at the maximum zoom range possible on the Panasonic FZ2000. Now if we go back to these photos, you can see over here that I did try to get the same kind of framing like with the Nikon D7200. But the problem it was that with this kind of framing, to get the same background in the picture, you will have only 33.5 millimeter, which would be with 2.7 around 80 millimeter, something like that, 85 millimeter, which is 85 millimeter over here as well. So just a second, I will calculate and I will tell you exactly the difference. So we talk about 33.5 millimeter multiplied with 2.7, that is 90 millimeter. So this photo was done with 90 millimeter and this was with 85, and you see that's the difference. But if I come to the last photo, which one was with 154 millimeter, and that would be 154 multiplied by 2.7, that would be 415 millimeter. So that's the difference, and that is what you can do even if it was at f4.5 and you see these trees were close enough to the subject. In the same time, it's nice and blurry. So what you can do to achieve a nice and blurry background to your photos, you just have to go as close as possible to the subject. You can see over here that it's a head and shoulders shot, and in the same time you have to use a huge zoom range, the maximum zoom range you can get, and in that case you will see that the background blur will kind of match. I will show you here an example. I will compare the two of them. Just a second now. Now if you can see over here the two photos, if you just look at the background blur, you will realize that the two photos are kind of the same. So this is the solution, how you can shoot with a 1-inch sensor the same kind of portrait like with an APS C side sensor. So you have to be careful how you place your subject and in what position do you shoot and how you use your camera. And in that scenario you can get kind of appealing to your eye, nice bokeh and background also with a 1-inch sensor. So I hope that this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope that you liked it. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and share my videos, and other than that, I wish you a very nice day and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.
I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I am cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day.